So imagine a tuxedo-clad orchestra playing this pristine, perfectly timed symphony, and then they stand up, wander deep into a forest, throw away their sheet music, and slowly go entirely feral.
Right. And what makes that feral orchestra so fascinating is that, well, they aren't human. They are entirely made of code.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are exploring this really fascinating 43-minute concept album titled Escape from the Conservatory, Feral Chamber Music.
And our mission today is to understand how this project uses cutting-edge technology to deconstruct traditional classical music into something just wildly instinctual.
Yeah, because the tech stack behind this is insane. The creator didn't just use standard music software. They actually fed prompts through ChatGPT to trick Google Flow Music into, unlearning standard musical theory.
Exactly, and then they pieced it all together on a raw alpha version of Audacity 4.
All running on a Linux operating system, right? Specifically, Ubuntu 26.04 LTS.
Right, which goes by the codename Resolute Raccoon.
Which is just ironically fitting for an album about wild animals. But hearing about that highly calculated Linux and AI tech stack, you'd expect something rigid.
Yeah, totally.
But the actual audio sounds completely wild.
Oh, it really does. You hear violins scraping with these raw, unstable techniques.
And the woodwinds blow these unpredictable, breath-heavy phrases. It's intense.
Plus, the percussion mimics erratic, natural behavior instead of sticking to a ticking metronome.
Wait, and it goes even deeper than just playing unusually, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. The cellos are actually shifting their tunings mid-piece, like actively detuning as they play.
Okay, but wait. If a cello is literally detuning while playing, doesn't that just sound like, I don't know, a middle school band warming up?
Well, it teeters on the edge, yeah.
At what point does abandoning basic musical etiquette not just become pure, unlistenable noise?
Because that teetering is exactly the creator's intent. They aren't just making noise to be provocative.
Right.
They're trying to escape what they call the polished geometry of rehearsal rooms.
The polished geometry, wow, I like that.
Yeah, it's an exploration of what happens when formal structures loosen their grip. These virtual instruments aren't breaking. They are unlearning their training to remember something older.
So it's not disorder, it's release.
Exactly.
It's like stopping the landscaping on a perfectly manicured lawn and just watching it revert into a vibrant, wild meadow.
That's a perfect way to look at it. The creator actually wrote that they didn't write these pieces in the traditional sense. They said they set them in motion and stepped aside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they realized beauty doesn't require obedience. And you really see that philosophy reflected in the track titles. The listener is guided through a narrative with names like The Moss-Covered Podium, Stalking the Conductor, and Vine's Reclaim the Bow.
Stalking the Conductor is such a great image.
Right.
The music is basically hunting its own boss.
It really is. And the creator sums this up perfectly in their notes. They wrote, if there is a conductor here, it is gravity. If there's a score, it is written in bark, in bone.
That is so poetic.
And think about how often we force our own creative or professional projects into incredibly rigid structures. We demand strict obedience from our work, but maybe it would thrive if we just let it breathe.
Yeah, that's a huge takeaway for you listening. Sometimes stepping away from the strict conservatory rules we impose on ourselves is the only way to discover our most organic, authentic ideas.
But there is a huge paradox here that we have to talk about.
Tech, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have an album designed to mimic ancient, untamed nature, the muscle memory in the earth itself.
Yeah.
Yet to achieve that, the creator used the absolute peak of artificial intelligence today. Complex language models, generative audio, and raw code.
Which leaves you with this really provocative question. Does the purest expression of raw, unpolished nature today actually require the most advanced artificial intelligence to unlock it?
It really makes you wonder.
It does. When our tuxedo-clad orchestra finally wanders deep enough into the forest to find true wilderness, are they actually just stepping into a server room?